Mabuhay everybody and welcome, and today we're here at the soon to be finished Changan dealership in C5 Pasig, and as you can see all around me is the full lineup of Changan Philippines so far. But today we're going to be taking a look at an all new model they're going to be launching at MIAS, the CS15. Because the CS15 is a subcompact crossover, it does look pretty small. But according to the brand, it's one of the tallest and the longest in the segment. So now I'm going to take you around and show you some of the things you get for the CS15. You do get halogen headlights, which have an auto feature by the way, and LED DRLs. There are no fog lights here. Over at the side, you get 17-inch alloy wheels, turn light indicators, but the most interesting thing on the side is the roof rail. So if you want to put a roof rack, put some stuff over there, you can. Over here at the back, you do get a rear fog light, a third brake light, and I'm just going to show you the space real quick. So I put my golf bag in the back. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit with the second row up. The second row doesn't fold flat, but you can see that it fits the golf bag. With the second row seats up, you can still put a decent amount of groceries and luggage if you do need it. Now let's go inside. So now we're in the front part of the CS15, and let me just tell you some of the features that you get from it. You have two digital screens, one for the digital instrument cluster and one for the infotainment system. Fortunately, no Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, but it does have its own proprietary app wherein you can connect Android or Apple to it. It's not bad, it's decent, at least it's there, although you can connect Bluetooth, so that's more than enough. You have some physical buttons over here to control the infotainment, which is always a good thing. And down here you have climate control system, although manual, at least it's there, it's not a problem. You have a little space here for some things you can put. There's a 12-volt socket, there's a USB port down here, you have your gear lever, and you have your normal old school handbrake, two cup holders, and a small center console over here. Also, here in front of me right now is the steering wheel, and it's nice. It's come with soft touch leather. You also have some soft touch materials on the seats and some parts here. This is hard, but there are a lot of soft touch panels, so it makes it feel a little bit more premium. The steering wheel, I just want to talk about some things here. You also get cruise control in the CS15, which is pretty unheard of in this segment, but it's nice to know that they put it here anyway. And of course, last but not the least, I think the most surprising thing about the CS15 is you actually do get a sunroof, which you normally don't find in any car in this class. So let's start with the second row, because this is the most important part of a subcompact crossover. This is my driving position, and I have decent legroom and headroom back here. I don't feel cramped, and I'm pretty sure anybody would feel okay just sitting here in the back. In terms of creature comforts, there aren't any. Unfortunately, there are no charging ports, nor air conditioning vents. All you get is the space. So now we're going to drive the CS15, and we're going to give you just a little bit of driving impressions, because this isn't a full review. We just have a small route around the dealership just to test out the 1.5 liter naturally aspirated gasoline engine. Makes 105 horsepower, and the engine is mated to a 5-speed dual clutch transmission. So we're now in the city, and obviously because it's in the middle of the day, it's very hot, and I can immediately tell you that the air conditioning is not so bad. It's actually pretty strong. And despite being in traffic, the sounds around me, the ambient sounds around me, it's not too loud. I don't have to shout at the camera to give you my impressions. And overall impressions of the driving so far, it's not so bad. In stop and go traffic, it's okay. And we're just waiting for a car right now. It's pulling out, and then we're gonna get moving. All right. So normally when it's a dual clutch transmission, it tends to be jerky in traffic, especially in stop and go situations, but here it's pretty smooth. I have no complaints so far. Obviously we're not on an incline, so I can't test that out yet, but here it's okay. I'm giving it a little more gas. It's not bad. It's moving pretty well. The steering is very light, and the power delivery is smooth. I can tell that they really tuned the transmission so that in first gear, maybe second gear, you get most of the torque available to you. Very short gearing, so it's not hard for the car to move, especially if you're loaded. Right now there's 3 of us in the car, but it doesn't feel like it's having a hard time at all. So what I like about this size though is that this car is easy to move in tight streets like where we are right now. It's tall. It's actually got 190 millimeters of ground clearance, and it's kind of long. but it doesn't feel that way. It feels compact and easy to maneuver. I'm not having a hard time. I don't really have to look around me if I'm going to run over a curb or hit somebody else's side mirror. There's no problem with the CS15 whatsoever in that aspect. So now we're able to take the car into Orcovia. So there's not much people, not much traffic. So I can really test out the CS15 a little bit more and see what it's really like to drive. So as I said earlier, that the power delivery is not bad. Everything that you would want in a modern car to feel nowadays is there. It's nice to drive, it's easy to drive. There's nothing difficult about driving the CS15. But the one thing that really stands out to me right now is the NVH levels. It's pretty quiet in here, considering that this car is supposed to be a budget subcompact crossover. Not much sounds I'm getting from the outside now. No rattles, no squeaks that I need to mention. Everything's perfectly fine, and I'm just gonna give it a little gas here, and it's not bad. It's pretty decent, and the 5-speed dual clutch transmission is smooth enough for daily driving, and we'll really get to the nitty-gritty of it when we really get to borrow the car for a full review. So I'll just round it all up. The driving experience so far that I've had in the CS15 is very short, but I can already say that it's, for a city car, it's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it, and in fact it's much better than I was expecting it to be, and that's a good thing, because when I tell you how much this thing costs later on, you're gonna be surprised and you're gonna be really happy if you're looking for something like this. So how much is this practical and very well equipped subcompact crossover? The Changan CS15 retails for 799,000 Philippine pesos, which already you know is a very decent price for a car in its segment. So if you're interested in the CS15, they're going to be launching it at Mia's, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be available in the dealership soon. Also, stay tuned for a full in-depth review of the Changan CS15. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel below, and also don't forget to follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, and all the other places that we're in. I think we're in TikTok also.